Have you ever made anything with potted clay? You shape and you form it. If you don't like it, you can mash it down and start over and make something look better. This is a vision that Jeremiah received from God. That as there was this potter who was forming this pot out of the clay, it was deformed and misshaped. So what did he do? He started over. He crushed it down and started again to make it the way he wanted it to be made. Well, God gives Jeremiah this vision to show that there was disaster coming to Israel. Israel was not living the way that God wanted them to. So they had to go through the worst of times. They had to be torn down, start from scratch. God was going to send nations to come to take Israel into captivity so that he can reform Israel the way that he wants to. And the same thing happens with us, with us in our lives as Christians. When we start going down the wrong path, God has to cut us down, tear us apart, show us our sin through the use of the law. He shows us that we need to start over, that our sins are not good, that it makes us deformed and disgusting. And so God tears us down so that he can build us back up with his gospel the way he wants us to be. He builds us back up in his love. As we're looking ahead to the sermon today, us in our lives as Christians, we go through the worst of times. But even though it seems like the worst of times, it is the best of times because God builds us up with his word. We have his word to stand upon. We have that good news that Jesus lived, Jesus died, and Jesus rose.